All right, so I've got a few of these pulled up. Like I was saying, this is pretty much most of the stock, most of the tickers that came up blank like this with dates, and they mostly have, and the ones that have this format, that this is probably the biggest missing link that we've had. Once again, it's not going to be all of these that have a blank date, but most of them that I'm finding are because of this, and it's something that's probably part of my fault. Before we were doing, like the first video I ever sent you guys, we were doing them and we're looking for this, and it was just a regular sentence. They usually had the date first and then the number of shares, right? And so that's what the crawler's been set up to do, and obviously it's been working pretty well because that's what most of the filings are going to look like. So the ones that didn't come out right, they're what I like to call, and you guys can come up with another name if it's more technically correct, but like a line break format. So check this one out. These are just a few of them that had blanks for the date, and if they had the blank for the date, it usually had the wrong common shares outstanding as well. So you can see right here, this is what we want. And I didn't explain that to you guys in the first video because it's not as common, but basically this is the date that we want, and this is the number of common shares outstanding. It's also just at the top of the page on all of these, and it's in the same area, like the sentences. Here's another one. The line break is kind of the same. It's like columns, or I don't know, rows. I'm not really sure exactly what it looks like on the other end of things, but they're all kind of similar. This one doesn't actually have a line, but it's pretty much the same. This is the shares. This is the date. Here's one other one. So, anyways, that was mostly something that came up that I think is probably shouldn't be too hard to tackle, but I mean, you guys can let me know what you think about that. What I did notice is it ends up usually pulling something that's down here. Like, we still have a value for these. Like this one is, how many zeros is that? 1, 2, 3. It's 40 million shares, right? And so you see, it probably the crawler missed it because it wasn't a regular sentence, like what we have it written to do. But I just did a control find to figure out where this 40 million, and you have to use commas to get it to work, but where's this 40 million? Usually, so when we've had these line break ones, and I do this and I control find the number that we have in our spreadsheet, it usually brings me to this preferred stock. Or it's maybe pulling it from this one right below it that says common stock and the number of shares. And I'm actually not too sure what this value of shares authorized means, or I'm sure it is important, but it's not the value we're looking for. That's the common shares outstanding. So we really need a way to just find this value from, or be able to crawl these ones with the line break format. And I'm sure it's possible, but it's just that wasn't what I showed in my first video anyways. We do have the correct value right here, but I imagine it'll be pretty hard to make a crawler that can differentiate this one between these other numbers, because there's not, that's just going to be rough. Unless we wanted to scrape these and compare it to like a Google search on Yahoo Finance or something, and whichever number is the closest to what Yahoo Finance has, then pick that one. I don't know. Hopefully the easiest thing is just to be able to do this line break and be able to crawl that. And like I said before, that's my fault that I never mentioned that in my videos before, and we haven't come across it yet. So anyways, I think that's everything I had to say. In the meantime, I'm going to be going through and also figuring out the ones that have a blank date and it's not line break format. I'll make another video for that. Also, some of these came up with just the month. I haven't even been able to go through these yet. I'll obviously want to check if it's got the right common shares outstanding. I've just been calling it CSO. So, but anyways, let me know what everyone thinks. And any questions you have, or if I missed anything. So thanks, guys.